Hello, this is Maestro X, and I'm going to go over the Level 2 academic word of the day, restrict, for Week 4, Quarter 1. Let's take a look at your flashcard. Restrict has two syllables, restrict, and the emphasis or stress is on the second syllable, strict. And there's a lot of consonants there, so try to be sure to pronounce them all. Strict, restrict. We have two definitions for you, both of them verbs. Let's go over the first one first. The first verb definition is to limit the size, amount, or range of something. Okay? To limit the size, amount, or range of something. Amount is number, right? How big, or the number of them. And range is how wide or how big. Let's take a look at an example. California state law restricts most highway speeds to 65 miles per hour. So the maximum you're supposed to drive on most California highways is 65. So California state law restricts us from driving faster than that, limits us, makes sure that we can't go above a certain number. The second definition is similar, but it's almost more specific. It's to stop somebody or something from moving or acting freely. For example, when you have an exam in your class, the teacher may restrict people from standing up, walking around, and leaving the classroom. The teacher will restrict the students from moving around during an exam. Or, in your academic word sentence of the day, in her diary, Anne Frank described many ways the Nazis restricted and humiliated the Jews in public life. Most of you read The Diary of a Young Girl by Anne Frank in your English 1 class, and you know that over the years that the Nazis were in power, they were preventing the Jewish people from moving from city to city, and then forcing them to live in certain areas. So different ways that the Nazis restricted the Jews as well as humiliating them. The action is restriction, or restrictions, that's their noun form. You have two participle forms, restricted and restricting. If you add un, the prefix before both of them, then you will get the opposite. So someone who is unrestricted is someone who is free to move around. Okay. Restrictive describes like a noun that causes limits. So you can say the restrictive environment during the final exam made the student uncomfortable because he wanted to leave the room to call his friend. Restrictive. And your adverb form then is restrictively. Restrictively. We have synonyms both for the first definition and for the second. For the first, which is to limit the size, we have narrow, or to reduce, or to curb, or to decrease. I actually like the synonym to limit, but we didn't put that one here. And definition 2, which is preventing people from moving or acting freely, we have to restrain, which actually has a connotation of really just not letting people move at all. Sometimes if we put somebody in handcuffs or put rope around them, that's restraining, like a police might do to like a criminal. Impede means like get in the way, has that connotation of getting in the way of somebody. Like when you're driving to school and there's an accident, it might impede your process or impede your drive to school. Antonyms for the first one is expand or extend. So instead of limiting the range or amount of something, you're expanding it or extending it. And for the second definition, you have free or to allow. And those, a lot of information just for this word restrict. Be sure to write an original sentence using restrict as a verb, and you can decide which definition you want to use, or both if you want to do two sentences. And include an illustration in the bottom right corner of your flashcard. Happy studying!